very much for joining us, Estelle. Perhaps the best place to start then is back in 2012 when you first appointed to your current role within Veolia. At that time, what was your view on Veolia's approach to sustainability and why did you want to change it?
First of all, thank you for your kind words and introduction. I feel humbled by all those names I just mentioned, and I think it should be the opposite way around. Everybody can be a leader and changing the organization. You don't have to be, like the CEO of Unilever to do it. So you can do it in the organization. Your CFOs or whatever can do it in whatever the organization. I think it should be my belief. We have possible solutions, so let's go for it now. Veolia. So I don't know what you know about Veolia. Not very long. Multinational company. In the UK, 14,000 employees, 2 billion turnover. We touch half of the UK population through things which go from collecting the waste in the streets of instance up to dismantling the ordering platform in sea or doing combined heating powers for AstraZeneca up in North Services. So I would say the traditional way of describing what the company does is we do wastewater and energy services, and that's it. So we're operators of the assets and all the rest of it. And it's probably what we were doing for a while and quite successfully and all the rest of it. When I was appointed here in the UK, I found probably a quite too comfortable company, if I may say so, which was not leading the way, thinking what was beyond the PFI model, for instance, in waste, or beyond the traditional big asset that you want to implement in your customer site and all the rest of it. So the first thing was really to transform the company, making clear what the purpose is, what is the strategy, and how we're going to achieve it. So it's been very simple. Probably is, in a way. The way I would describe the company now is we are becoming a mining company. A mining because we use the wasted heat, the waste water, everything which used to be not used by a customer at all, and we extract everything we can to give them a second life or to manufacture something else out of it. So it's the whole idea about circular economy. You can describe it as helping our customers to be more resource efficient. So when I go to GSK, AstraZeneca, just to mention a few names, but we are our customer, basically what we offer to them is to have the same output, the same number of medicine that we use per day or automobile or whatever, using less water, less materials, and less energy to get exactly the same result. So the great beauty about that is we're not trying to do better in our own organization, but we're trying to bring the solution that exists today to our customers. So I think what is important for us to me is really customer, it's business case, it's pounds, because it has to make business case, good business sense.
Which leads us to go on to the next question I had actually, which is obviously you're talking essentially about the resources of the world strategy, which you had to launch revolutionary strategy from a business model perspective, essentially transform the area from what was essentially a utility company, and you say you want to put more value on these resources and begin to drive a circular economy with your customers. And you really have to put the money where your mouth is with this one. It's a huge investment program. So my question really is how are you able to convince people, key people within the organisation and key stakeholders that this is the right thing to do?
We have both on the road, shall I say. Because you can say people in the organization, like your employees, say, your managers. You have people in the organization as in the board, which is the second subject if you want, and you have people as in, for instance, your customers. And probably it took us a long time to convince the customer in a way more so than the first two, surprisingly enough, because we're not that clear ourselves what the business model was. So convince the board, I think was quite easy, but we can essentially on the way, because we had a good business case, I think, made good business sense. Convince our employees in terms of the direction of travel, I think that's easy. because everybody, from the top of the organization down to, say, a loader behind a truck in London to me, they want to have a purpose in the business they're doing. So I think it's incredibly easy once you make it very clear what is the company here for, not just making money, which is a tool, not the purpose of it. So I think that was not that difficult, even though I would say everybody was involved, that would be too much to say that probably, but I think we embark now, a big chunk of the company. I want them to even be more than that, more than embark, if you want. I want them to be ambassadors of that. So my target is really that I have at one point 14,000 guys and ladies in the UK being the ambassadors of, you know what, we can make it happen, we can change the world, if you want, restore the world, and we are starting today. Customer-wise, let's say the shift was from talking only to the sustainability directors in the organization, which are easy to convert it, you're switching to the core, as one of the things I've heard, to when you talk to the CFO at one point, or the procurement guys, or whatever, which is already quite an interesting shift on the evolution like mine. And now I can tell you, so basically, you have to be greener, usually maybe you have to be program bonus, it doesn't work that well. You can say something, is better. What works well as well is the benchmark first. You know what, Mr. Pharmaceutical Company, your colleagues here, uses less water and less whatever, and we have a benchmark and we have a KPI, and I can tell you how to get to that point, works incredibly well. Just a tool. Some other stuff of the CFOs, it's the security of the supply chain, which is a big argument for me around circular economy for our customers. So it's not only basically because it's better for the planet, but you know what? To be able to produce some plastic or whatever, or paper from wasted something in the UK as opposed to import it from some other place of the planet through boats and all the rest of what it implies, makes sense. And you know what, when you face the commodity price being up and down all day long, and those people wondering what on the hell is going to be the oil price, the timber price, the whatever plastic price in 3 months' time, and I don't know, and therefore my P&L is totally related to that. When you can tell them, you know what, I can secure the price for 10 years, wow, you're in there.
So, looking at how the strategy is now being implemented, I want to talk about the importance of setting targets, because one thing that's really clear with the strategy here is that you've got clear specific targets. So, for example, 40% of revenue generated from circular economy solutions by 2020, selling 1 million bags of heat-free compost by 2016, generating 120,000 megawatt hours of district heating using black waste. They're quite specific and tangible targets. So, how important is it for you to set these ambitious targets as a way of measuring success and sustainability and driving that change?
I think, you have all those something which open up to like if the boss is not interested into it, then don't do it. And if you don't measure it, it means that it doesn't count. So if you don't have any KPI, it means that usually it doesn't matter that much with the organization as a whole. I think it's very true. So it's not only to have precise targets and the ones you mentioned. So the short-term one, like what are we going to achieve this year, and in 5 years' time, where we'll be, which is 40% of what we do in circular economy. We are at 20% already today, which is not that bad. I think it's not only that, setting targets, it's already also, I would say, putting all the targets and all the agendas together in just one. What I found when I arrived was more, I would say you have the business sets of targets and objectives for the year, you had the sustainability target for the year, you had the CSR target for the year. That's the start, the bare and nothing. But actually, you know what, now they are all one set of targets, because when we do this packaging, it has a lot of sense for the community, we're doing HIP 2, it has a lot of sense for our sustainability targets, and it's good business as well, and it's all together. So I think for me, my key, I would say, achievement in this target is really to have one set of targets which comprises of everything, and from the operational to the sustainability CFO, whatever, it's all the same target market.
And yeah, set targets very on in the organisation.
Yes.
There's a lot of people, 14,000 employees, as you say. So, I mean, under your leadership, in terms of kind of getting those people on board, you've got internal communications forums, you've got appointed regional innovation managers. So, is it fair to say that this sustainability strategy of yours is really centred on the staff, employee engagement, and value chain?
I think when you want to drive an organization in terms of changing, you have two important things to me. One is where do we want to go? What's the purpose of the company? What's the strategy? What's the tactics to get there? Measure around that. The second thing for me is how do we want to get there? Because there is no such thing as, for instance, being great and green and being positive and all that. And on the other side, having some employees who don't behave in the right way, who don't do the right thing. Because you know what, I know that the lifestyle of people and employees is not precisely every day as in a textbook. They face, like weird situations, whatever, or things that they didn't expect. So my key concern is how do I make sure that all those 40,000 employees have the guidelines of the way to behave in front of something which is not what's said. So to me, it's absolutely critical. And we've developed a lot of effort in terms of what are the values we want to embed in the company, how do we want everybody to behave at work, and all that. Again, are we here yet? Probably not. But I would say that we've done quite a lot of this job.
So what does the future hold for Veolia? You mentioned long-term targets. So where would you like the company to be in 5, 10 years' time?
That's quite, I want my content, all my business to be about bringing solution and talk about only our resource efficiency. That's quite a simple objective to want to assess, not that simple to get to, of course. And I want all my employees to feel proud of, what they do in the business every day, because they are part of the solution, they are part of the solution. They committed on COP21. Don't wait for the big disruptive something which will happen hopefully in 5 years' time and save the world. You know what? By doing biomass district heating, anaerobic digestion, sharing economy and all the rest of it, we already have a lot of solutions here in our hands.
So you just mentioned COP21 to that now. Can you just briefly summarise, do you have any kind of key hopes, expectations for the climate talks? Are you optimistic about it?
I have a great level of hopes without being too hopeful in a way. By that I mean COP21 is an event. So an event, it's important that you have some moment of crystallization of something, and I'm very hopeful that it will happen. But you know what? There is a life before COP21, there is a life after COP21. So I don't think that whatever happens in 2 or 3 weeks, then it's going to be done, or it's going to be too late, and then we'll go back to normal. No, I see that as a milestone on the journey of being there. And I think the level of engagement, of awareness, has really risen at such a level that, I think in itself it's already an achievement. The fact that you have big CEOs like, the size of the GEs and Veolia say, you know what, we want to price of carbon now, already is an achievement, I think. So the fact that it's not only about government, but business can be part of the solution, for me, is already an achievement.
I wanted to throw another buzzword at you, which I mentioned a few times before. It was in the latest brochure that you guys produced on the circular economy, which is collaboration. You can say in that brochure that collaboration is vital because no one has the answers. We've heard about it a lot already. If you give us perhaps, you've got an example of a collaborative project that you worked on that really led to sustainable change, and then how does that feed into what your views are on the need for more collaboration?
And it goes back to what Drax was saying earlier to me. So only you have the full circle, and usually not the single company gets the full circle in his or her company. So typically, we are developing solutions. So we take something which used to be wasted, we sort it, transform it to make something which can be used by the likes of Kingfisher then to produce something which ends up on the shelf, for instance. So we're part of it, but then we need the like of such companies, that to actually make it happen as well. And we need, the waste in a way from the beginning to do something with. So I see ourselves as, the engine, but you still need a lot of other stuff around the engine. So it's all back to operations. So it's for big companies like Veolia, it's quite confounding because the fact that, we are part of the solution, but we can't do it 100% alone. It's quite a big shift in the mindset. We said JVs, we need partners with customers, with partners with end users, and in all the, and actually it's quite new for us.
Okay. And just finally, my last question, which is really sort of taking everything that we just talked about into account and your experience so far with the area and sustainability going on. There's obviously going to be lots of other sustainability professionals out there, perhaps some in this room, that would love to take their organisation on a similar journey. So based on all of your experience, what would be your kind of key bullet point piece of advice to any sustainability professional that wants to begin with?
To the segment of shocking you, don't put too much sustainability in your organization. So business case. So I would say security of supply. Try and use the same vocabulary as the guys or the ladies you're trying to sell to. Would be my advice. And you know what? If you become the translator or bilingual, if you want, you can go home.
Well, that's been all my questions. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time for a Q&A session with this one, but I'm sure you'll agree that Estelle has been a great guest here today. So please join me in thanking Estelle Brachlianoff.